These days we laugh at those early inventors who risked their lives in the pursuit of making a flying machine. But while their contraptions may be silly by today's standards, we need pioneers who aren't afraid to crash a few times to show the rest of us what not to do. I thought a lot about those early inventors while playing Energy Hook. Instead of feeling like I was in control of an expertly crafted machine, this brand new PlayStation 4 game felt more like it was steering experimental technology straight into the ground. By combining elements from both Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and Spider-Man, Energy Hook is the kind of extreme sports game Acclaim would have released in the late 1990s. You take control of a character with a futuristic grappling hook. It's the type of thing that'll allow you to swing through 6 unique stages while pulling off daring mid-air tricks. There are no enemies to fight or bosses to hook, because this is a fairly straightforward extreme sports game filled with different type of racing events. A lot of the missions will have you speeding through the stages, swinging through hoops, tricking off of buildings, and trying to get as high up into the air as you possibly can. Complete enough of these events and you'll open up a gate to the next stage, where you'll have to do this all over again. This should have been a slam dunk for me, since I'm already a big fan of grappling hooks and something of an extreme sports apologist. I'm that person who enjoyed Capcom's Bionic Commando reboot, despite the silly ending. When every game at this year's E3 showed off some sort of grappling hook, I squealed with excitement. I jumped into Energy Hook ready to take my grappling hook prowess to the next level. Oh, boy was I disappointed. I'm not gonna mince words here. Energy Hook is nearly unplayable in its current state. It's not just one or two things, but how everything works against the game's best interest. A simple thing like walking in a straight line is made practically impossible thanks to the squirrely handling, and you never know when that titular hook is going to attach itself to something useful. Even after putting several hours into the excruciating experience, I still couldn't land properly or run up walls to save my life. Some of the control issues could have been fixed by adding more precision and moves that made landing a little easier. Being able to grapple to a ledge should be simple, but here you might as well be landing a Boeing 747 without any training. This is the type of thing every game with a grappling hook has, but Energy Hook seems intent on making everything needlessly difficult. You can see this not just in the way the game plays, but also how the events are handled. Because many of the stages take place high above the ground, there are a lot of opportunities to accidentally fall to your death. Normally, this would be fine, but for whatever reason, falling mid-race will reset the player in a completely different part of the stage. It's bad enough that you're losing time because of the fall, but it's not always clear where you're supposed to go next. If you fall, you might as well restart the race from the beginning. Every part of this game is made worse by the overly sensitive camera controls and inconsistent frame rate. The game wants you to zip around the stage with reckless abandon, but the performances make that virtually impossible. I felt like I was going to get motion sickness in the first few minutes, and even after adjusting the settings, I still felt a little queasy when the camera started flailing around uncontrollably. It's a shame that the gameplay doesn't come together, because the stages in Energy Hook are large and full of objects to trick off of. Sure, most of the visuals are basic and a little hard to look at, but stages like New Atlantis and Sky Garden look good. The 6 stages are all dramatically different, and I can see the potential in each of them. Sadly, the stage designs are undercut by the questionable gameplay. I like the idea of merging grappling hooks and extreme sports, but Energy Hook goes about it in all the wrong ways. This type of game lives and dies based on the gameplay, and nothing about the game felt natural. Even after hours of honing my skills, most of my highest scores ended up coming from dumb luck. The idea of swinging through the city like Spider-Man sounds like a dream come true, but the execution in this game is a real nightmare. Hey, thanks for watching our review. For what it's worth, Energy Hook comes from developer Happy Laboratories, who had previously made a game I liked called 60 Seconds Shooter Deluxe. This is a heartbreaking follow-up, and I hope that their next project writes the course. Anyway, I still have a bunch of reviews lined up, but I can't promise they're going to be much more positive than this one. I started playing Color Syndrome and ugh. If that doesn't scare you away, then do me a favor and click the subscribe button and support what we're doing here. Until then.